Hey everyone, it's Tracy Barkley here with the Keto Comic. We're doing jalapeno poppers today for our keto tailgate thing. What I've got here is 14 slices, those are half slices, of regular Smithfield thin cut bacon. Thin is best for this, that I've cut in half. I'm about to put that into a 375 degree oven as soon as that preheats. Says she ain't quite as fast as I am. I've been told that by many people. So once that gets heated up, we're going to half cook that. Par cook that is what they say in the chefing world, until it is not raw but still flexible, because we want to be able to wrap these around the poppers. And while that's in the oven, I am prepping the jalapenos themselves. Now, a lot of store-bought jalapenos, they just cut off the tips, they scoop out the seeds, and they pipe the cheese in. But we're going to be a little fancy today and do ours like canapes. So what I'm going to do is basically have the peppers, scoop with a spoon the seeds into a mug. Then I'm going to rinse them really well, and I'm going to put a flavored cream cheese, which I'm going to make. In that, I'm going to take some pork rinds, crush them up, put them along the top so that we have kind of a crust. Then I'm going to wrap a half slice of bacon around each popper and bake them in the oven at 375 for about 15 minutes, and then until the bacon is fully cooked. Alright, so stand by and we'll continue on. Okay, the bacon is in, and while that's cooking and I am prepping the jalapenos, I'm just going to soften this cream cheese in a microwave safe bowl for about 10 seconds, and then I'm going to add an assortment of dried seasonings to it, which I will show you, and that will be our filling. You can also use the pimento cheese that was on my previous video, and I'll put a link down below to that. If you'd like to use that instead, could be interesting. You can also make some of these without bacon if you have people that don't like bacon, but you shouldn't be inviting those people to your house because they're just trouble. Anyway, I'm going to get started on this, and I'll be right back. Alright everyone, here are the jalapenos. As you can see, I picked out the biggest jalapenos in the package because they can be very short sometimes. So you want to make sure you get a good looking boat out of each one. A boat is just a vertical cut. Pick it up, take your spoon, scoop out the seeds. Now, here's where I deposited all the leftovers. Now, not only the seeds, but the pith. Basically, chilies are fruit, just like oranges, lemons, all those things that have what we call pith, the white stuff on it, which can be awfully bitter. So what you want to do is make sure you not only get the seeds, but this white pith. Get it down as fine as you can. A little bit's not going to hurt, but a lot of heat is packed in the pith because the juice from the seeds kind of leaks in there. So that's a good thing. And never ever trust just dry scooping them. Always rinse them, which is what I did. I rinsed all the seeds off, and then I patted them dry with a paper towel. And now these are ready to be filled with our filling, which I've got softening in the microwave. And the bacon is just about par cooked. So we're making good headway on this. Like I said, I like to keep all my recipes, 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes or less. Oh, another thing, wash your hands multiple times, or change gloves if you're wearing gloves when you're prepping any kind of hot pepper. Why? Because if you forget and touch your eye, or as a friend of mine did in culinary school, we were working with Scotch bonnets, which is a very hot Jamaican chili. He asked the chef instructor if he could go to the restroom. He did. He forgot to wash his hands before he went to the restroom, and we all know how men use the bathroom. Well, he had to go home the rest of the day. I'll just leave it at that. So be sure you wash your hands, y'all. So I'll be right back. Hey, y'all. Here is the filling. It's just one standard 4-ounce block of Philly cream cheese, or any cream cheese brand you'd like, softened. Added a little Lowry seasoned salt, smoked paprika, a little bit of dried cilantro. And it's going to give us a really great Texarkana kind of taste for this. And it looks like it's not a lot, but it will be plenty for what we're doing. You might even have a little bit left over. And a cream cheese is always good on anything, so you can always save that. But our bacon the timer for our bacon's going off, so I'm going to pull that, and we're almost ready to put these together. Alright, y'all. Here we have our par-cooked bacon. As you can see, it is cooked, but still floppy. Now, if you serve this to me in a restaurant, I'd be really upset because I like crispy bacon, and it will be crisp on the finished poppers. But this is kind of how you want it, because it's flexible and will still wrap well. And always cut them into half pieces, because if you try to wind a whole piece of bacon around something small like a jalapeno, it's going to give you trouble. All right, guys, about to get ready. About to get the pork rinds ready. Just going to crush them up real quick, and we'll be ready to assemble these things. We're back. Tracy, I've got a great cameraman assistant over here, my wonderful mother-in-law from Girls Gone Keto, is going to help me finish out this recipe. She said I've got everything ready here. I got the par-cooked bacon, as you can see, turned out just great for rolling around, wrapping around something. I got our cream cheese filling. Like I said, you can also just use cheddar cheese, you can use pimento cheese, you can use whatever cheese you want. This is a very flexible recipe. That will affect your macros though. The macros that I put below are going to be for what I've got here. I've also got pork rinds. I just did a rough crush with a cup. You don't even need a rolling pin. In the bag, let's make that bag work for you. And of course we've got our hollowed out jalapenos, which are going to make the foundation of this recipe. Got a pan here with parchment, sprayed it with some of the good Trader Joe's coconut spray. You might want to see the front of that. Alright, so basically, just take somewhere between a tablespoon and a teaspoon of your filling, and you just want to layer it into the boat. Just like that. Spread it out, making sure it's coming to the top of the boat, because when you bite it, you want to make sure you get cream cheese in every bite. So just like that. Do one more for you. Spread it. Make sure it's coming up to the sides. And I'm a little messy sometimes. But you know what? That's okay. That's why we have paper towels here. So that's kind of what you want to do. And I'll finish these up, but I'm going to show you the next steps. Just take a few finger pinches of, these are a rough chop, a rough roll on these, because I like chunkier, more rustic breading on this. Now you can use Parmesan cheese, you can use almond flour, you can mix all three together, you can make this as fine or as coarse as you want. I just prefer a more coarse chop. What I'm going to do is just put some right on top, like so. Like so. I'm going to take a whole piece of bacon, well, a whole half piece of bacon, and I'm just going to wind it with the open edge under the popper. That way, as it's finishing cooking, it'll kind of fuse together. And I'm just going to put it here on the pan. Again, this is a smaller jalapeno, like I said, so this is pretty much going to be dwarfed by the bacon. I'm just going to wrap around, again, fold underneath. Now there is a possibility that this could, as it's cooking, kind of lift upwards. So what I always do before I put these in the oven, I'll just take my hand and do a pat down on it to make sure it's kind of square on the bottom. And that's pretty much the procedure. Another way you can do this is to simply cut your bacon in even smaller pieces, just little strips, cut them into thirds. You can almost fully cook the bacon to about 3/4 done. You can do the same procedure and just lay a strip of bacon across the top if you want a fancier canapé. So that's it for this recipe. It's very simple. Total prep time, about 8 minutes to set everything up, another 5 or 6 minutes to put everything together, a total of about 15 minutes in the oven, and you've got a tasty tailgate snack or party snack, depending on how you do it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Keto Comic. Really appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to have more recipes and more product reviews coming at you weekly. Thanks a lot.